Oi girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trainer Liam back with another episode of MetroMania. For those who aren't aware, MetroMania is an ongoing 16 Pokemon metronome only battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion, and this season we're doing it with legendaries. If of course you're already invested in this series and you're really enjoying it, make sure you hit the like button, show your appreciation, and of course make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. But of course, before we get into any metronome battles, we need to take a look at the all-important brackets. As you can see, last week we said goodbye to Kyogre in a shock win by Regigigas. I don't think anybody expected Regigigas with its slow start ability to be anywhere near a viable competitor in this series, but lo and behold, the metronome giveth and the metronome taketh away. It took away from Kyogre, and unfortunately for Kyogre, it bows out of the competition in the first round. Regigigas moves on to the quarterfinals to take on whatever comers stand in its way. Its slow start ability clearly isn't slowing it down, and that's something to look out for in this contest. Regigigas at full power is something to be afraid of. Who's it going to face in quarterfinal 2 though? Is it Reshiram? Is it Lunala? Let's find out. Here we go, Reshiram versus Lunala in one of the more interesting matchups, I think, in the heats of the legendary version of Metromania, because the random number generator has gifted us with an interesting matchup, I would say. A very interesting matchup, because Lunala and Reshiram, I wouldn't say either Pokemon's at a real distinct disadvantage or advantage here. I think this is a fairly even matchup as far as Metromania goes. It's all down to the metronome, really. As we see Shiny Lunala starting things off with a Toxic onto Shiny Reshiram, that means that this Reshiram is now living on borrowed time. Its time is limited on the field, so it needs to take advantage of every opportunity it gets to attack these Lunala. As the regular Lunala follows up with a stab move, same type attack bonus, Hex, onto regular Reshiram for a great amount of damage there. That's a brilliant start from the Lunala team. Very strategic, very good start. We see a substitute come out from regular Reshiram, going to hide behind that substitute. The substitute is going to take the damage for that Reshiram, so that keeps it able to attack that little bit more. Kind of a good counter to its partner Pokemon being a little bit limited in the amount of turns it's going to be on the field, as we see that poison damage taking effect after that very minimal Gyro Ball that only really worked to break the shadow shield of that Lunala, so that Lunala will start taking full damage this time. False swipe onto that substitute. Is it going to be enough to break the substitute? I doubt it, and it is not. Wasn't the same type attack bonus move, wasn't even super effective, not really going to do any damage to that substitute. There's an Aurora Beam though for some neutral damage from Shiny Lunala onto Shiny Reshiram. How will Shiny Reshiram follow up? It's going to go for Boom Burst. That's a really bad move. It doesn't affect either of the Lunala, but it will go through that substitute as sound-based moves do and do huge damage to its partner. What a bad turn on the part of Reshiram. That's such a bad move. Regular Reshiram comes back out from behind that substitute, which it still isn't broken though, to go for an Odor Sleuth onto regular Lunala. I mean, these guys really need to go on the offensive if they've got any chance of coming out with a victory in this battle. That was a bad turn for the Reshiram team. It's not looking good at all in this first battle. I think Reshiram are struggling to get out the gate here. Regular Lunala goes for an Eruption. That is going to be quad resisted though. It's 4 times resisted by these Fire and Dragon types, so that was a lucky break for these two Reshiram. The regular Reshiram is still behind that substitute though, still sitting pretty. Zing Zap coming out from Shiny Lunala onto that substitute. Will it be enough to break it though? It's not very effective, of course. The substitute does fade away, so finally, regular Reshiram is exposed on the field, and of course, it doesn't know substitute, it's only a metronome, so it's not going to be able to hide anymore. Gets itself out of the way, though, goes for Bounce, bounces up into the air, does not want to be in the way of any attacks by Lunala, and of course, with Lunala being the faster Pokemon, it will attack whilst that Reshiram is still up in the air. Reshiram avoids the discharge from Shiny Reshiram, and that does a little bit of damage to each of these Lunala, but does get the paralysis on the Shiny Lunala. That does give a little bit more of an opportunity to the Reshiram team, who are both struggling at the moment though. Lunala still massive amounts of HP compared to their opponents. Here's regular Lunala going for a Nightshade, guaranteed 50 damage, but doesn't hit the Reshiram that's in the air. Very lucky for the Reshiram team there. Shiny Reshiram's going to follow up with a Camouflage, going to change itself into a normal type, because of course Metronome is a normal type move. Will that work in favor of the Reshiram team, as that bounce comes out for a tiny bit of damage there on Shiny Lunala, my goodness, who is going to follow up with an Aeroblast onto which Reshiram, I don't think it matters, onto regular Reshiram, knocks it out. I think it would have knocked out the Shiny Reshiram as well. This isn't good for the Reshiram team. They really need to up their game if they're going to pull out any kind of a victory in the next couple of battles, I think you can pretty much write off this battle. I don't think there's any way this Reshiram can defeat Lunala. Oh, not after a play rough as well. That's got to be a knockout. There it is. First round goes to Lunala. If Reshiram wants to pull out a victory on Lunala, it needs to pull the boat out right now. Really needs to up their game, does the Reshiram team, in this Metronome battle. What are they going to do? Here comes Lunala and Lunala. They must be feeling supremely confident after that original battle. Here comes the Turbo Blaze. Not really going to be a huge difference maker in this battle, although it is kind of like Mold Breaker, so I guess it avoids the Shadow Sneak, I guess. Someone can clarify that in the comments, probably. Here's a Disable, but it fails from Lunala because no one's used a move yet. That would have been terrifying if used after Metronome, though. Here's Foresight from Lunala. They're just toying with the Reshiram at this point. They're feeling very, very confident. They know that they have a little bit more of an advantage because they've got the psychological advantage of having one victory under their belt. Here's a Lock-On from regular Reshiram. Turnabout is fair play, although it doesn't really make that much of a difference in this scenario. How will Shiny Reshiram follow up? Will any damage be given? Endeavor doesn't affect Lunala because Lunala has less HP overall than Reshiram in this particular setup, so what a complete wasted turn one there. Here's an Aqua Jet though, that'll do some neutral damage from Shiny Lunala to Shiny Reshiram. What's the regular Lunala going to follow up with after its ally's turn? Goes for Slack Off, but it's at full HP, just wasting turn after turn at the moment. What's happened to the Lunala team here? Here's Shiny Reshiram with a Hurricane. That would be great if it can get the Confusion. It's going to do a decent amount of damage there on Shiny Lunala with that crit and gets the Confusion. What a fantastic move by Shiny Reshiram. No mistakes this time so far. Regular Reshiram is going to follow up with a Grass Knot. I mean, it won't do a great amount of damage because, of course, Lunala not really known for its weight there. But what a good start by the Reshiram team, actually doing some decent damage to start things off as Shiny Lunala hits itself in Confusion. That's a testament to that Hurricane from Shiny Reshiram on the initial turn there. Here's a Weather Ball, though, from Lunala. That is going to be a great move onto that onto regular Reshiram, with it being normal type, because, of course, there's no cast form involved here. Here's a Guard Split, though, from Shiny Reshiram onto Shiny Lunala. That Guard Split is going to swap over the guard between the two. Going to share it out. Going to make it a little bit more even there. Here's a final Gambit, though, which doesn't affect Lunala, so that's not going to even activate on this turn. What will Lunala do in response? Regular Lunala is going to start things off here with a Bind. I mean, that is going to do bind damage at the end of each turn. It only does 2 damage. 2 HP of damage on the first turn, but at the end of the turn, there is going to be bind damage for a couple of turns here. Shiny Lunala does shake off the Confusion enough to go for the Metronome. What's it going to do? Goes for Oblivion Wing, which means it's not only going to deal flying-type damage, but it's also going to restore some of its HP from that damage. So that was a good, lucky turn for that Lunala there. It's almost like it never hit itself. It's going to pretend that it didn't hit itself on that previous turn. We're all going to just pretend it didn't happen. Here's Kinesis from regular Reshiram onto well, not onto anybody. Onto the regular Lunala. Sorry, it's an accuracy move. I sometimes get Kinesis mixed up with another move, but someone tell me what move I think I was thinking of. Here's a Psycho Cut, though. Not very effective on Lunala from Shiny Reshiram there. And there's that bind damage on the regular Reshiram. Trying to figure out what move I was thinking of when I thought of Kinesis then. Doesn't really matter. Let's move on. Here's regular Lunala going for Memento. My goodness. So it's going to knock itself out in order to lower the attack harshly and the special attack harshly of Shiny Reshiram. But that's a bold play by Lunala there. Is that going to work in Lunala's favor? I'm not sure. Its opponent doesn't know what's going on. Hits itself in the face with Confusion. I mean, was that a sensible play? Does Lunala have that much faith in its shiny counterpart? Here's a Vine Whip from Shiny Reshiram doing a little bit of chip damage there. Is that overconfidence on the part of Lunala? I don't know. Synchronize doesn't affect Lunala, but will affect regular Shiny Reshiram for a decent amount of damage there as well. Because, of course, they know Metronome, but that's... oh, dear, that was not a smart play there. Lunala does shake off the Confusion, going for the Metronome now. What's it going to do? What will it do? Aura Sphere. That will be a nice bit of neutral damage, but not going to do a great deal, I imagine. I mean, it did a decent amount of damage, let's be fair, but I don't know if Lunala's got this one. Here's Torment from regular Reshiram onto shiny Lunala, which means that it can't use Metronome twice in a row. It has to struggle each turn. That may be the difference maker in this battle. Here's a Razor Leaf, another grass type move coming out from shiny Reshiram there. Critical hit on Lunala. Lunala needs to pull something out. Snaps out of Confusion, has no moves left because of that Torment, which means it struggles. It's going to do a fair amount of chip damage on regular Reshiram, but it takes 25% recoil damage. It needs to pull out something like an Earthquake on the next turn if it has any hope of surviving. Drain Punch does not affect Lunala, so that was a very lucky play for Lunala. What will regular Reshiram do? Goes for Flower Shield, but that's going to fail as well. Interesting, this is Lunala's opportunity. If it doesn't hit this Metronome, it is absolutely doomed in this battle. Goes for Bubble. It is neutral, it is a spread move, but it will not even chip away at the Reshiram's health there. That's unfortunate. Here's a Zap Cannon from shiny Reshiram onto Lunala. Foregone conclusion. Down goes Lunala. It's one apiece now, ladies and gentlemen. So Reshiram is somewhat back in this game. It now has an opportunity to take down Lunala. It has an opportunity to ignore that embarrassing first turn and come out with the win. I think both these Pokemon actually have embarrassed themselves a little bit. Reshiram had that terrible opportunity with the Boom Burst, that terrible situation, and regular Lunala used a misplaced Memento at the wrong time in battle, so now these Pokemon both have something to make up for. Here's an Electro Ball from regular Lunala doing a little tiny bit of damage, not very effective on regular Reshiram. Its shiny counterpart, how's it going to start things off in this battle? Goes for Powder Snow. Of course, that's going to be neutral on these Dragon and Fire types there. Doesn't get the freeze either, unfortunately for the Lunala team. Here's Magnetic Flux, which fails from regular Reshiram. How will shiny Reshiram follow up on this one? What's it going to go for? Goes for Sludge. That is going to be a... Well, it's not going to be very effective, but I thought it was going to do decent chip damage. Had an opportunity to poison, but didn't. That was going to be the difference maker, as if they could get the poison on that first turn. Here's shiny Lunala retaliating with Dragon Rush, though. Avoided. That would have been super effective. That's unfortunate. Dragon Rush was avoided. Here's regular Lunala with a Volt Switch. Again, a little bit of not very effective damage, but any damage is better than no damage. Am I right? Here we go with shiny Reshiram. What's it got in store? Gonna go for Nature's Madness. That is gonna half the, because it's basically Super Fang on Lunala, but of course with typing behind it, with the I believe it's a fairy type move, Nature's Madness. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone will. People love doing that. Here's a Bubble from regular Reshiram doing a little bit of chip damage on each of the Lunala there, but that Nature's Madness could have been a difference maker. That was an absolutely great play, halving the HP of that Lunala. Here's an Inferno avoided by Reshiram. Of course, it would have been quad resisted anyway, being a fire type move. Regular Lunala goes for Blaze Kick, which is also 4 times resisted, so not much damage done at all to the Reshiram there. As shiny Reshiram, what will it do in retaliation to this turn? Goes for Earth Power. That's a great special attack on the already damaged shiny Lunala there. That was a great turn. Great play by Reshiram. What will regular Reshiram do to follow up? Goes for Core Enforcer. My goodness. Now that's going to do some significant damage. My word. Here it goes. That beautiful move, signature move of Zygarde there. Down goes one of the Lunala. It's 2 Reshiram versus 1 Lunala. This is a good position for the Reshiram team. Definitely. They've both got pretty much close to full HP at the moment. Lunala's a sitting duck on its own. Goes for Grass Whistle. Is going to put one of the Reshiram to sleep there. Which one is it? Puts shiny Reshiram to sleep. That's the opportunity Lunala needed to take. That takes one of these Reshiram out of commission and gives Lunala more of an even battle here. Here's a Rock Polish from regular Reshiram. Going to increase its speed there sharply as well. And of course, shiny Reshiram is fast asleep because of that Grass Whistle there. What will Lunala do? It's not the fastest on the field now, so regular Reshiram is going to have the speed advantage here. Goes for Sacred Fire, which is going to be a stab move as well, doing a great amount of damage there to Lunala. That's an unfortunate situation for this Lunala to be in after that Core Enforcer. Going for Tailwind, going to increase its speed on the next turn. That's a smart play by Lunala. Now it's going to be faster than that regular Reshiram, even though that regular Reshiram is the fastest thing on the field right now, as its partner is still fast asleep, though, unfortunately for the Reshiram team. Regular Lunala is going to go for Ally Switch, but that is going to fail, unfortunately, because there's no ally to switch with. Regular Reshiram now gets the chance to follow up with a Flame Wheel. Here we go. Another stab move. pulling out all the stops. Lunala is still in this game, though. Although Shiny Reshiram has woken up, what's it going to go for? Goes for Wonder Room. I mean, that was an interesting play. Certainly a very, very interesting play there. Of course, defense and special defense stats are swapped around in Wonder Room. Will that factor in? I mean, Lunala is very close to perishing here, but will it be able to pull out a victory? Goes for Overheat. That's unfortunate because that is 4 times resisted by Reshiram. And of course, we also have the stat drop, the special attack harshly dropping. That's not good for Lunala. Regular Reshiram, what have you got in mind? How are you going to follow up? Goes for Octozuka. Is it enough to take down Lunala? It is. And Reshiram pulls out a 2-1, takes down Lunala. The victory has gone to Reshiram. Reshiram moves on to the quarterfinals. My goodness, what a showing by Reshiram. Well, fair play to Reshiram for really pulling this one out the bag. After that first battle, I really thought Reshiram was pretty screwed. Like, Lunala absolutely destroyed Reshiram in the first round. But then it just goes to show you can never count a Pokemon out in this series, because then Reshiram went, okay, you beat me in the first round, that's fair, you're feeling overconfident, I'm just gonna absolutely destroy you the next 2 times. It was really, really intense. It was great to see Reshiram pull it out after kind of stumbling at the first hurdle. Shame that Lunala's out, because it's a beautiful looking Pokemon with a beautiful looking shiny form, but Reshiram moves on into the quarterfinals. Of course, it's going to be taking on the hidden gem that is Regigigas in the quarterfinals, so good luck to you, Reshiram. I hope you have a good time. We've got 2 more heats left to go before the quarterfinals, and I still don't know which way this tournament's going to go. I really can't put money on anybody right now because it's anybody's game at the moment. But of course, that'll wrap it up for this episode of MetroMania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. You super duper help me out by doing so. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you'd like to support the channel like these guys down here do, make sure you pledge to my Patreon, patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. And until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.